in progress.
So we continue with overall. For overall, this means that the group is aware that the research is taking place. And it means that the researcher or the observer might as well introduce himself or herself to the group and state the purpose of the research. The advantage about overt system is that you'll be able, as an observer, you'll be able to interview or question the group. And you don't have to participate in the unpleasant or illegal things they do within that group. Mm. I think that is clear. Yeah. So this takes us to the strengths and limitations of participant observation. For the strengths, they said they are usually high in validity because the normal behavior of the group is observed in its natural setting over a period. So here I wrote highly valid because the behavior of the group is observed in a natural setting. So it is highly valid because here you're talking about certain group of people behaving in a place that they are naturally habitants of it. That this is where they are, this is where they belong. So they are in their environment, and what they do in their environment is simply their identity. So they are known for such behavior because that is their identity within that setting.
Yes.
So it is highly valid. 2, it brings about deep understanding as things are seen in the point of view of those involved. So because as a participant observer, now you want to see things in their own perspective. Mm-hmm. You drop you being neutral here. You want to be part of the group to see how things work within that group. So that means you're going to have deep understanding about behavior in that group. That's an advantage. Yes. So you're not just going to judge anymore. You're going to see it based on why they do it, based on you being part of that group. So you're part of the group, then whatever happens in that group, you get used to it, then maybe that changes your behavior too. So you'll be able to know why they have done that, what makes them to do that. Is it clear? Yes. So those are the advantages of participant observation. Now, the problems about participant observation. The first one, the presence of the participant observer may affect the behavior of the group or turn effect. This is if the observer is using overt. Mm-hmm. Do you understand? He's not seen as a member. He's seen as a researcher. So that might influence the behavior of the group. Yeah. Clear? Yeah. The second problem is that low reliability as such research might be difficult to repeat. It's difficult to repeat such research. Yeah. It's because we're talking about human here in different settings. So because we cannot repeat it, then it is not reliable. The third point is that if it is not reliable, it cannot be generalized. We cannot generalize it because we are talking about a behavior of certain people within a group in a setting. Yeah. So the setting cannot be the setting of other groups. So there will be difference. So you cannot generalize their behavior. Yes. Is it clear? Yeah. The fourth point, the researcher needs to have the social characteristic of the group, such as age and gender. So for you to be part of for you to be part of the group, like if I have to be an observer in a high school, maybe in a grade 12 class, I have to be within that age of grade 12. I have to be seen as an individual of that class. So I must portray a social characteristic that defines that group I'm talking about. Yes. Do you understand? Yes. And when we talk about social characteristics, we're talking about the age or the gender.
But sometimes it doesn't matter. Some people, like the age, I mean,
or even your
like appearance.
Even your ethnicity. Yes, you said.
So your appearance might be like you're young but you're old. You know.
You must portray a characteristic that makes you to be a member.
Ah, okay.
That's the reality. If not, you are not a member. You can't be part of the group. And that is difficult. The problem is that it is difficult to portray such characteristic. Yes. So it might take time. The next one. Covert observer might need to spend more time keeping identity rather than gaining information. As a covert observer, you care more about not exposing your identity rather than gaining information. So you are so careful. Whatever you do, you want to ensure that your identity is not unveiled. As a result, you might be losing out on information that you are supposed to be carrying out or gathering. Is it clear?
Maybe you're like suspicious for them and they don't want to give you information or something.
Yeah, you just be careful so that your identity you become more careful about your identity than the information that you need to gather.
Okay.
Do you get it there?
Yes, sir.
The purpose of being there is to gather information, not to keep your identity.
Yes.
But for the style that you have adopted, you need to keep your identity. So you are conscious about your identity. Clear?
Yes.
Researchers may lose their objectivity if they come to agree terms in the point of view of the group. Now that you are becoming part of the group, you might now see it in their own way, and you feel like what they are doing is good. So you lose your objectivity because you have agreed with terms on what they do.
So you're leaning to their side. That's what you say.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is dangerous.
Yes.
Because that's not the purpose of being there.
Oh, yeah.
That means you become subjective.
Yeah, subjective, yeah.
You get it? So then we go to non-participant observation now. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. So for non-participant observation, here I wrote, this is when the observer observes the group without participating. That means the observer is observing the group without being involved. It could be done through camera, through video recording, and the rest. So this means the main reason for this is that it avoids Hawthorne effect, because you are not participating, you are not there, you are observing from afar. So the group does not know what you are doing, so they will still be behaving their natural way. So Hawthorne effect is avoided. That's the advantage about it. Though it might be illegal, because you need for research, you need to seek the consent of the observer of the group. Do you understand?
Yes.
So the problem about this method is that it doesn't allow the researcher to investigate the meaning people attach to the behavior that is being observed. You are observing a behavior, but you won't be able to ask questions about the meanings people have given to such behavior because you are not participating.
So there will be a limit of information.
All the information you get might be based on your own assumptions and interpretations. And that is a problem.
Yes,
Do you get what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Because you are observing from afar. So whatever attitude that they portray, you see it as it's going to be based on your own point of view.
Yes.
So your assumptions and interpretation. That's it. So then if it is based on your own assumption and interpretation, then it lacks validity and reliability.
Yeah.
Because you are being subjective there. Do you understand? Yes. So these are reasons why sometimes it's not good to use non-participant observation. You won't be able to understand why people have behaved the way they have behaved. You won't be able to understand the meaning people give to certain things or certain behavior within that group. Some people might have called those group a name. You wouldn't know why they call them that name because you need to get to know through those involved, but you won't be able to ask them questions. So all you do is observe, assume, interpret, then write it down. So that's all about participant and non-participant observation.